That's not it. If you're such a bop. Such a bop. Right? Right?
Hard.
It's not just me, right?
Yeah, okay. that was incredible.
Every time I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh yeah,
in the room, like, you know,
I got a show to do. I'm like, let's go. Welcome to Know Your Role. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our SmackDown recap show. Miss Chrissy Love looks a little different today. Just kidding. This is my good friend Adam. Adam, what's up?
What's going on, Stephanie? Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Follow him at This Is Goober. He is amazing. Go to his YouTube channel. Just an overly talented individual who I've met through WWE media myself. And he's also part of the Body Slam Net family. So obviously go say hi. Watch him, as Liv would say. He is filling in for Miss Chrissy, who is busy today with some prior work stuff. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Prior work stuff going on. But I'm so glad Adam's here. We had a pretty good SmackDown today. So we will give our thoughts and opinions on it. For the crazy closing segment. Actually, there were a couple of different crazy segments in this episode. So let's break it down and let's get into it. The very first person out was Miss Tiffy Time. Also Miss Money in the Bank, the new Miss Money in the Bank. This is the first SmackDown after Money in the Bank PLE that took place last Saturday. Miss Tiffany Stratton walked away with the briefcase. First of all, are you happy Tiffany won in the first place?
I mean, it was kind of expected. I think they've been pretty clear about building it towards her winning. I wasn't really surprised. To be honest, I really wanted Chelsea Green to win for selfish reasons. Like, I think Chelsea Green's fantastic, and I think the storylines they could have had with her would have been phenomenal. But you know, again, with Tiffany Stratton, seems like they were building that storyline, you know, way before even Nia Jax won the Queen of the Ring. So I'm about it. Like, I think she's great. I think Tiffany Stratton's fantastic, and I think there's going to be a great storyline here. But it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm with this. I'm with this right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think Tiffany's who I expected very, very early on. And to your point, Chelsea Green has just been doing a fantastic job in character work. Absolutely one of the most entertaining things on the WWE brand as it is. And so I completely flipped and I was like, I want Chelsea to get this because in the match itself, I mean, that match was amazing. And she did an amazing job in that match just with her character work alone. And I think a lot of us were rooting for her, but I am not mad Tiffany won. So she kicked off SmackDown tonight with her briefcase. I was fully expecting it to be pink.
Yeah. I think
they haven't had time.
They had some missed opportunity right there. I'm sure they'll give her something like what they did with Damian Priest. I'd imagine that's coming at some point.
I think it is coming. I know it's been less than a week, so we'll give them some time. But I think she had mentioned in one of the interviews over Money in the Bank weekend that she'd like to add a strap to it and have it be pink and carry it like a purse. And I'm like, that's so her. It's so her. So I'm excited to see if they customize it for her. But I'm glad she's also Miss Money in the Bank. It kicked off with her basically touting her achievements. In the Money in the Bank ladder match, she did warn both Liv, Roxanne, and Bayley to keep their head on the swivel because she might be coming for them. Found it very interesting she mentioned Roxanne. So might she appear in NXT?
She could. do we really think it's going to happen? Not anymore. I think the Public Enemies guys said, it's like they compared Tiffany Stratton calling out Roxanne Perez to Undertaker staring at Bobby Lashley with that ECW title. Like, you knew damn well that wasn't going to happen. You knew that one, but at least they threw her a bone, and they made it, give you the impression that she would. So
correct. I mean, if she did show up in NXT just to tease Roxanne, that'd be pretty cool. I think she get a good pop. Obviously, she just came from NXT 4 months ago. So
I don't even think she's been. I think it was after the beginning of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been like maybe 3 months.
Crazy.
So again, congratulations to her. She touted her achievements. Then the champion, the WWE Women's Champion, Bayley, came out to address her. She said, "Congratulations. I want to be the first to say that." And she basically said, you can warn me all you want, but I'm the champion, and I'm not the old Bayley that I used to be. Then Tiffany's bestie, Miss Nia Jax, comes out to the ring, or say Queen Nia Jax comes out to the ring. As we all know, Nia will be facing Bayley at SummerSlam for the WWE Women's Championship. But Bayley did bring up a good point. Tiffany, what are you going to do if Nia wins? Are you going to cash it on your bestie?
Yep.
I felt like that was a great point.
I feel like that's going to be part of the storyline going forward. Like, I wonder what the plan is. It reminds me very much of the Miz Bobby Lashley era.
Yes.
From the Thunderdome, when Drew McIntyre lost the title. Like, how are they going to weave this in? How are they going to make it work? I was kind of, I don't know. I feel like she could definitely be a foil, but I feel like if Tiffany cashes in on Nia Jax, I don't think she's going to win. So like,
so well, it comes down to, do you think Nia Jax is going to take the title off of Bayley at SummerSlam?
As much as I don't want her to, I feel like they're going to. I could see it going one of two ways, right? I could see it going either Tiffany or Nia Jax beating Bayley clean, and then Tiffany doesn't cash in because she knows she's not going to beat her, or
correct.
Nia and Bayley have a crazy match. Bayley gets the hell beaten out of her, goes over on Nia, and then that's when, very much like what happened last year, with Bianca and Io. I could see them playing that back, but I feel like Nia is probably going to go over in this one. I feel like they've built her up enough to where I think this could be a big move for her. I think that's probably going to be that's what do you think?
I agree. I don't necessarily want Bayley to drop it, but I'm all for Nia as a champion. I think she's another one that's done incredible work since returning to WWE. I'm fully on the Nia Jax train. I'll tell anybody. However, something very interesting at the end of this segment happened. So let's just get through it. But basically, as we probably expected, Tiffany and Nia did team up against Bayley here and beat her down. And luckily, Michin came around with a kendo stick, whacking them and kind of chasing them off, if you will. But then, let me back up. Before Michin came in, they had Bayley down on the ground. Tiffany is holding the briefcase, looking at the ref, kind of looking back, like, should I do it? I do it? Yep. And right when it seemed like she might have been going for it, Nia's like, "What are you doing?" And she stops her. And so it makes you start going, to your point, how are they going to weave this in? Because they are besties. Nia's going to be pissed if she takes that title match from her, or the title in general. And Nia actually stopped her from cashing in. So now you have to go, is Nia going to be like over her shoulder the whole time? Especially if it's Bayley that she's trying to cash it in on. But again, Michin did come in and save the day with the kendo stick. Michin and Nia do have a match tonight as well. So I think this was a good transition into that. There was a segment in between where you had Andrade and doing a sit-down interview with Byron Saxton. And he said, Andrade, people are saying you had a history-making, moment-making performance at Money in the Bank. And a lot of people want to know what's next for you. And he said some stuff in Spanish I did not understand, I'll be honest. I'm sorry. He did say tranquilo.
I know that one.
It means calm down.
Yep.
Right? Be cool. And then all of a sudden, Carmelo appears. And Carmelo's like, man, why? I can't do it. Man, why Why are you interviewing him when everyone knows I'm him? I'm the one that they're talking about. I'm the one that made that match great. And he's basically talking shit. I'm like, Andrade's nobody.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, you want to know what's next? And he says him and points at Carmelo.
Oof.
So now we're getting a Carmelo Andrade feud, and I'm not mad about it. What do you think, Adam?
Not at all. I think both of them had a really incredible performance at Money in the Bank. I think it was an opportunity for Andrade to kind of reintroduce himself to the WWE audience who hadn't been there maybe hasn't seen him for a while. And then Carmelo Hayes obviously is phenomenal at everything that he does. I'm not mad about it. I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I think they're going to put on a couple of bangers. I would like to see potentially a title in there at some point. But I know there's a lot of, it's kind of crazy. Like we're talking about Bayley and Nia and all these different folks. And, there's all this conversation around the World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
Cam Hawkins called one of the WrestleManias an embarrassment of riches. I think it was a couple, I don't remember which one it was. But it really feels like that right now. It's an embarrassment of riches at this present moment. And it's like, it's really difficult to decide like, oh, do I want Bayley to keep the title or do I want Nia Jax to win? Because either option's freaking great, right? You can't go wrong with either one of these. But I'm really excited to see Andrade kind of show and prove again and kind of remind everybody where he's been and why he's back. And then also gives an opportunity for Carmelo Hayes to shine a little bit more. So I'm about it. I'm looking forward to seeing what they cook up together.
These two are gonna be crazy. Our one of our loyals, George, is in the chat. And thank God for George, because sometimes they gotta keep me straight. Y'all understand. I have a 3-year-old, I have a toddler. Sometimes things get jumbled, and I apologize. So Michin actually came in with the Kindle. Or sorry, Tiffany tried to cash in after Nia defeated Michin. I apologize.
Right.
Thank you so much for keeping me straight. Because I'm
appreciate you fact checking us in real time. Yeah,
I know all this happened, but it all seemed very chaotic. I just need to take a moment and say, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, listen, I understand. I have 4 kids. I don't even know how my eyes are open right now. So trust me, I get it. I totally understand.
Like, I know it all happened, but in between there, I think my toddler asked for chicken fingers or something. I don't know. So I apologize. But I do have to say real quick, Michin is doing fantastic work. Mm-hmm. She's one of my favorite people, period. But I love seeing her on TV. I love her getting this time. I think just with her being more exposed to the audience, you can feel the reaction starting to change. People are cheering for her. They're getting louder. And what we've been saying for years, right? You can only get behind people that you see and have TV time. Right. And so I'm really happy to see that for her. She's killing it. The match was short, but it was great. Yeah. And it was very impactful. It made Michin look amazing. Nia did beat her. And then after that, because Bayley was on the sidelines for that, as well as Tiffany. After that, there was the beatdown of Bayley, and Tiffany toyed with cashing in, and Nia stopped her. So just needed to correct that. My apologies, everybody. Thank you, George, for keeping me straight, homie. I appreciate that.
We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your service, sir. Appreciate you.
So it was announced that Carmelo versus Andrade will be happening next week on SmackDown. Whew, it's going to be a match.
They're putting it on free TV.
On free TV.
Putting it on free TV.
For free.
Jeez, on Al Gore's internet. Can you believe this? I can't believe we're going to get this for free. It's going to be unbelievable. I can't wait. Papa H is blessing us every single day. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Papa H. Cook, sir. Cook.
Please cook it up. Cook it up.
Next, there was a tag team match between Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. 2 people I love seeing on TV, okay?
Man, shout out to the homie Baron Corbin right here. If you
love
you know.
Baron Corbin.
If you know, you know. I wore this on purpose. Because Baron Corbin is the homie from Westchester, Pennsylvania. This is like having this logo is sort of like a secret handshake in town, and he'll tell you the same thing. But
okay, so I need to buy one of those hats. Is that what you're saying?
So you actually can't get them anymore. So this is actually. So I'll tell you a little story. Also, I just want to point out real fast. Adrian Hernandez is in the chat. Shout out to the homie Adrian Hernandez is here. If you're not following my G right here, you are.
You said 4 kids, Bloodline versus Goobers working.
Listen, man, that's exactly right. We're talking Samoans and the Slovaks, brother. That's what's happening right now, man.
That's a slow box.
You're about to see number 3 hater of the year, Daniel Barnard, behind Kendrick Lamar and CM Punk, give a roundhouse kick to freaking Jacob Fatu. You better believe it. But go right now. Stop after this. You're done. Tag this and follow Adrian Hernandez. He's the dude. But no,
y'all. Okay, we're gonna give some love right now. Adrian is one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life.
Yes.
Adrian's one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. And I'll tell people the story every time. And I know this has nothing to do with SmackDown, so I'll do it very quickly. But Detroit SummerSlam last year, it's Detroit. We are done with our media. We wrap up. It's late at night. It's probably 11:30. Ubers are like $150 from the stadium. And I'm like, my ass is walking. Yeah. I was like, because
me and shirt off, walk like a mile and a half into the middle of Detroit.
Look, I'm a cheap ass, okay? Like I'm like, I am not about to spend $100 for Uber. I'm like, absolutely not. So I start walking, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, Steph," and I turn around, and it's Adrian. And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm walking further away from the stadium, so I have to pay for a $140 Uber." And he was like, "It's Detroit at night, and you're by yourself." And I'm like, "I know." And he's like, And he was like, "I'm walking with you." And he walked with me. We walked 5 blocks, 6 blocks. I don't even know, but we walked until that shit got down to about $30, $40. But he would not let me walk by myself at night in Detroit. And I appreciate him. And I had just met him for the first time that weekend. So I knew of him, obviously, but I had never met him in person. And just one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. Go follow him, please. Adrian Hernandez. Just a great person, great talent. Anyway,
all around wonderful guy. I literally can't hype him up enough. Adrian's been one of my earliest supporters from the very beginning. We linked up very early, and just anytime you get to watch anything from him, go ahead and check it out. But I want to just comment on this. So this is actually, I know we're getting to SmackDown, but we're talking about Baron Corbin. So this is actually, so in Westchester, Pennsylvania, there used to be a clothing brand called Elsewhere.
Okay.
And it was like a movement. So this logo is based on the famous Los Angeles logo. Yeah. And this was everywhere in Westchester, right? And at some point, we must have crossed paths at some point in town. Neither of us remember seeing each other. But I went to SmackDown with my oldest son, James, and my wife, after there was a whole thing with Goldberg that happened a couple years ago, and he got us tickets to the front row in SmackDown. And he was King Corbin then, and on the inside of his arm right here, he's got this logo on his arm, and I look at him and we make eye contact. And I literally I swear to God, I went just pointing at him as if he knew what the hell I was talking about. Right. So here it turns out he and I have mutual friends. So we used to both run in the CKY circle with the Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn. I was part of the Bam crowd, and Corbin was part of the Dunn crowd because they were 2 separate crowds at the time. Wow. And so we definitely had cross paths and stuff, but we never linked up. I actually just saw him recently. I saw him at WWE World. And there's another story that I'll tell you for another day, but it involves a t-shirt my son Daniel said. Can I cuss on here? Is that okay?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, please.
So there was a shirt that Daniel had that says, "Remember when RoboCop shot that dude in the dick?" And that Daniel having that shirt is actually Baron Corbin's fault. So
wow.
Yeah. So no, look, anytime I can give Baron Corbin his flowers, and not just because he's the homie, he's one of the best in-ring performers out there now.
I have been a Corby for, I don't even know, 7 years, 6 years. I don't know. I am such a Corbin fan. And
Corbin,
we've been through it.
We are coining and minting that. We are Corbies right off the top here. So Corbin, you can use that. Thank you. But we are, if you disagree with that, then argue with the wall, because you're wrong.
He's so talented, and I'm not just talking about in ring, and he continues to improve in ring. But I love his. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's not that technical," and he's not. I love the way this man moves in the ring. He's so smooth. Yeah. And one of my favorite moves is when he goes around the ring post and slides back in. That shit, I pop every time. I'm like,
slick as shit. It's so good.
It's so slick. And then of course, End of Days and what's the other one where he goes all the way around?
Oh fudge, what's it called?
Yep.
I can't remember. Corbin, I'm sorry.
Deep
Six. Yes.
All his moves to me are just great. His character work, his crowd work.
Oh, right. Well, that's what I was going to say. So he does the move with Apollo Crews. Apollo tosses him over the top rope,
Yes.
and the crowd goes freaking ape shit for it. And it's like, yes, this is what we need to see from this guy.
I coined it Air Corbin.
Coined and minted, ma'am.
Coined and minted.
Corbin, if I can call you,
ahead and
I can call you Baron because I feel like we're homies like that. So Baron, if I may, sir, you can go ahead and use that if you'd like to as your it's new merch right there.
Air
Just
Corbin.
call it in.
I want it on a t-shirt.
That's right. We'd like to have it. We'd like to have t-shirts because we'll wear them. But listen, like, not only is he like one of the best workers out there right now, he's also one of the safest and the most respected in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the guy is smooth. Everybody wants to bitch and freak out about the whole thing with Kurt Angle when he did the retirement match with him. But like,
yeah,
why do you think he was chosen for that? Like, yeah, okay, maybe it could have been Cena. Like, I get it and all, but like, why do you think Baron Corbin was chosen for that?
It's not even that. The segment with The Rock during the Fox premiere, like, you have to be a big deal to be in the ring with The Rock, okay? Like, even just a segment.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Corbin was the main heel in that segment is a big deal. Like, and people just miss it. He should have been world champion by now. I'm not going to go into it. However, we had a match with Corbin and Apollo Crews, and I'm always happy to see Apollo Crews.
Same.
In the ring versus Humberto and Angel. What a fun match. What a fun match that was.
Yeah.
Adam just mentioned it. There was this awesome spot where Corbin runs towards Apollo Crews. Apollo basically throws him up over the top rope, and he goes flying and crashing down onto Humberto and Angel. It was a crazy spot. It was a lot of fun. The whole match was honestly very fun.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Legado del Fantasma, Santos got in the ring, interfered, need him, and unfortunately they got the win. And Corbin and Apollo Crews took the L.
It's ridiculous. So Papa H, he giveth, and Papa H taketh. And
Papa H.
I believe that's Proverbs, if I recall correctly.
I do like them as a tag team, though. I'm really actually liking this tag team. Like, if we can get some matching gear going, like one of my favorite tag teams also was Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. Like, holy crap, they were amazing. So I'm like, if they can really get it together with Apollo and Baron Corbin, because they look very good here. If they can refine it, I think it'll actually be a really great tag team.
I think if they can find the thread. Right, if they can find exactly what makes them tick together, I think it could be great. But you mentioned something, and I don't want to move past it, but I don't want to stay on it too long because I know we're reviewing SmackDown. There's a lot to cover.
Yes.
But my next article, which I'm currently spinning and writing for Body Slam, which you can subscribe. Which side am I on? Here, over here, bodyslam.net, right now, right here. It's going to be about why Baron Corbin should be the next World Heavyweight Champion. So keep attuned to that because I think.
Let me know when that posts, because I'm going to go ahead and post that, tag that, retweet it. All the things.
He should be. Again, if you're mad about that, argue with the wall. I welcome you to argue with drywall.
If you don't want that man to be a world champion, you can just go ahead and unfollow me.
That's right. Just hit the unfollow.
Not on the channel, on my Twitter.
No, on the
follow the channel, unfollow my Twitter. Thanks.
That's right. Thanks.
No, but it was actually a very fun match. Again, Legado del Fantasma did pick up the win with cheating. So do some quick shout outs. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello. Well, there's two Jeffreys. Hello, Jeffrey Reimer. Hello, Jeffrey Young.
What's up, fellas?
Good evening.
What's up, fellas?
Glad to see you guys in the chat. And then there was a backstage segment with Cody and Randy, and it was so sweet. And he said, if you happen to be in the ring with the Bloodline, I got your back. And once you're done with the Bloodline, because all things come to an end, there's going to be so many guys going after that title. And I'll have your back then too. Cody, you don't trust snakes. Don't trust snakes.
Cody out here in his best youth pastor outfit. His church Sunday best.
It looks like a Sunday church suit.
He looks like the cool youth pastor that's like.
I was waiting for him to say, everyone bow your heads.
But he's that kind of guy that shows up and he's like, you know who else finished their story, right, kids? Jesus. He hits you with some fucking sermon. But anyway, I digress. And now I want
a shirt. You know who else finished their story?
Who else? It's like just sitting there, just.
It's him on his one knee going like this. I just
trials and tribulations of the
there's a lot of great minted ideas coming out of this podcast tonight, and I want to get them trademarked.
Listen, write them all down. I'm just saying we can run them up the flagpole to the WWE. I'm just saying we can throw it out there. But no, he's dressed in his fine Sunday outfit, and here comes Randall Keith showing up with a little bit of a gaga, if you will. There's not a chance on God's green earth that Randy doesn't turn at some point this year after the bloodline stuff.
Oh no, he said I have your back.
Sure.
Coming after.
Sure. Yeah, we've heard this one before, Randy.
You have my back with an RKO. We know.
We know how this goes. We've seen this story before.
We've seen this from Randy Orton, specifically. Quite a few times, actually.
Scandalous is what this is.
What I'd like to see from this is Cody not being dumb. I would like the not dumb baby face. Like, Cody should know. He's known Randy for decades. He should know he cannot trust his ass.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to be surprised when he does turn on him. I want it to be like he's about to turn on him and Cody catches him about to do like an RKO. And he's like, and they're like,
no.
What? I knew it was coming. Like, I want him to catch it. And respectfully be like, just tell me you want a match, man. You don't even need to RKO me. Just, do you want the match? Great.
We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this.
We don't have to do this. When does it happen? I don't know.
No. I think, well, I mean, like I said, you have SummerSlam coming up in the next 3 weeks. You have Bad Blood too. Bad Blood is probably a good time for it because you figure, I know we're jumping around a little bit here, but you figure, it's going to be Cody and it's going to be Cody and Solo, but Muscle Man Malcolm and I agree it should be Jacob and Cody, but that's a whole nother story.
Don't get me started.
And so SummerSlam's going to be Solo. Our tribal chief triumphantly returns.
Yep.
And I think they're going to build towards the Bloodline versus Bloodline Civil War at War Games, which is going to be unbelievable. And I feel like Sami Zayn is going to be involved in that somehow. But there's always Bad Blood. You could always
people do say that about Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn's busy on the Intercontinental title. Not to mention, there's about 8 more generations of Fatus and Anoana. I can't even say it. Anawais.
Anawais.
That are just waiting in the wing. So at this point, I don't know if we even need Sami Zayn.
Well, you
just bring in Zilla.
I mean, it's probably going to be Zilla or it's going to be Lance, one of the two of them, right?
That's one of the two.
And so you almost have to figure, like, is this War Games going to be 4-on-4? Is it going to be 5-on-5? Who else does the Bloodline have? Well, again, I think that the ultimate ringleader here is television's Rock the Dwayne Johnson on the side of Solo Sikoa as the final boss. So I really think that is going to be the next real big reveal. But no, again, with Randy, in regard to Randy and Cody, it's probably likely that they're going to be a Bad Blood together. That'll probably be either the main event. Because I think, as we know, Drew and Punk are on a collision course to Hell in a Cell at some point.
Oh, for sure.
And I think that is going to happen as maybe potentially the main event of that pay-per-view. Yeah. But I think that Cody and Randy could definitely be pushed out to Bad Blood.
I guess we'll see. Stay tuned. Then LA Knight, comes out with a folder in his hand that we saw him leaving the backstage area with. He gets into the crowd and he says, I have this nice little gift for me, all signed by Nick Aldis, just for me. And he opens it up to reveal it is a contract for the United States Championship at SummerSlam with him versus Logan Paul. And he signs it. Nick Aldis has signed it. And he said, Logan Paul, it's your turn. Come on out. And he said, but guess what? He won't come out because he ain't here. I've never seen such a poor United States champion ever.
Oh, God.
What are we doing? 2 title defenses. It's been like 100 and something days. Like, what are we doing?
The day they take that title off of Logan Paul will be amazing. Like, I get the idea that they're trying to make it, in public view and all.
What are they trying to make it? Because I don't.
They're trying to make it like in the spotlight, and he's taking it everywhere, and he's some big megastar and whatever.
But he's not though.
But he's not doing anything with it. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw it in public with him.
I'm like, so I haven't even seen it. I don't watch his podcast. Maybe he has it on air.
God, no, I don't watch that.
I don't know. But more so, they have to pull the trigger on LA Knight at SummerSlam.
It's now or never.
This has to be it. Even my husband, who is a casual watcher, was like, either shit or get off the pot. And I was like,
Yeah.
babe, I'm like, hello? He's like, well, it's like something
No.
has to give here. This man's been chasing titles for however long it's been.
Yeah.
And they
What
just
is it?
haven't given it to him. And I'm like, you have to do it. Like, no more delaying, no more, well, his time will come. Like, give him the United States Championship and let him run with it and see what happens. You know what I mean? He's still over. He's still popular. Somehow he's been able to keep that same traction and love and engagement from the fans.
Yeah.
And I think most of them just want to see him get that W. So get it off Logan Paul. Let it happen. Logan Paul did not come out as LA Knight alluded to. However, it was announced a little later that Logan Paul will be on SmackDown next week, probably to address the challenge that LA Knight just laid down.
Thanks for showing up for work, bro.
Thanks for showing up for work. What are we getting paid for? I'd like to just get paid and not show up to work.
Could you imagine just walking around with one of those fancy belts all day and like just pretending like, yeah, I'm the champion. Like, okay, sure. Yeah, dude, whatever you say. Just walking around, showing it off. Yeah, he definitely is.
Going to win the W. I believe so as well, George.
Yeah, dude.
What did Jeffrey say about Randy Orton? The Legend Killer should come back before he retires from WWE. Oh, the Legend Killer. Yeah, no, he needs to be heel again eventually.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know if they're as far as like a Legend Killer. I think the only legend that's left for him to kill is probably John Cena.
John Cena. That's it. That's pretty much it.
Everybody else is gone now at this point.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah,
Jeffrey, who in the flip is the Miko Fatu? Is this another one?
Is that Halik? Are you talking about Hikaleo? I can't even say that.
He put Hikaleo, Zilla, or Lance, and then he put the Miko Fatu.
There's so
many. You know what? I'm so done.
There's so
when did Rikishi have time to wrestle? Like, I just want to know.
God,
this man was busy at home.
He was busy, busier than a one-armed paper hanger. That man, he was getting busy all day long.
Like,
my goodness!
As soon as he got home, he just jumped on his life.
That's it. That's what I just do. Yep. He's like, oh, I wrestled an entire 2-week span. Time to go to work.
Time to wrestle my wife.
You could do other things, like maybe watch TV,
dance, watch a show.
You were a prolific dancer in your
bowling.
Time. Maybe a flamingo class or two. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. In any event, I'm going to keep it moving here until Stephanie comes back in the room because I'm split screen here. But I agree with you. There you are.
Whoa.
I don't know what happened. I kept it going. I was moving back and forth, like pretending I was both of us. So
sorry, y'all. Nice. I don't know what just happened. Were you doing this?
I was like moving back and forth. Like, yeah, hey, what's up?
George said Logan part-time Paul.
Yeah. The hell with Logan Paul. To hell with him for so many reasons. Like, just be done with this shit. Just be done with this shit and be like, get it over with. This is ridiculous. Put that goddamn title on LA Knight. Let him show you that he's a champion, and then let's build him towards either an IC run or a World Heavyweight Championship run. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
To do this. Even if they have him hold the U.S. title for a year, that gives them time to do all sorts of stuff with the world title and do all this other stuff, and maybe switch him over to Raw in the next draft, and he goes after the WWE World title. Whatever. There's plenty to do. Just put the U.S. title on. It's time. It's been time. This better be the biggest title win at SummerSlam. Besides possibly Rhea Ripley getting hers back. I want to see it happen.
Well, I said to my wife before we came on the show here, we were talking about it, and we were talking about LA Knight. Like, we were there last year in Detroit during SummerSlam.
Yeah.
When he won that Slim Jim Battle Royal, the place freaking went crazy for LA Knight.
For a Battle Royal.
Nuts. It went crazy.
Like, I don't care what this man wins, as long as he wins something. They're like, wow.
Just give me He won the King of the Ring qualifier match. This is great. Like, okay.
He won a beanbag. Wow. Like, they do not care. He won the lottery. Wow. Like,
brand new Bosch washer and dryer. The whole set's just for LA Knight.
What?
And here's your prize. Sorry, I turned into Casey Kasem. Here I am with Stephanie Hines, and she
my God, why do you kind of sound like him? That's so weird. Oh my God.
I spent a lot of time by myself practicing radio voices.
I hear.
It's Casey Kasem.
I hear. We then Am I missing the? Didn't we have the match with Blair Davenport? Excuse me.
Yep.
Versus Naomi. It was an interesting match. I'm
Yeah.
always good and happy when I see the women getting matches in time. I don't know what to think of this feud yet. Like, there's no, I can't sink my teeth into it. Like, I want more for
There's
Naomi.
no tie to it yet for me.
There's no tie to it. It's kind of like, oh, okay, she attacked you in the back, cool. Like, and their chemistry was, okay. I don't know. I don't know, guys. What do you think?
It was like kind of for me, and I hate to see it. It's like it just didn't feel inspired at all, and I hate that for Naomi because she's so good, and
Yeah.
it was amazing to see her come back in the beginning of the year.
And she's been featured on every pay-per-view. She's had a match in her pay-per-view. She's doing phenomenal.
She absolutely is.
And I want her to have a feud where she can sink her teeth into it and like get some layers going and some stories. And like right now, it just seems like, okay, we don't want Blair in the back, so we're just gonna, have her go against Naomi. And like Naomi Tiffany thing was never really settled. And I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's no clear direction, at least from our standpoint right now. Clearly her and Blair are not done. They had this match. Naomi picked up the win, and there was a scene afterwards in the back where she ran into Jade and Bianca, who were wearing matching leopard print outfits and looking amazing. They ran into Naomi and they had a little hey girl moment. Blair Davenport walked up to her and said, good job, shook her hand, walked away. Then Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, who are in the back in line waiting for Nick Aldis. Chelsea Green in her neck brace found out that Nick Aldis was not there, and she was upset. Starts telling Naomi, Nick Aldis is horrible and all those things. And as Naomi's standing there, all of a sudden Blair Davenport attacks her from behind. So this feud is not over. Kind of wish it was. However, I try and remain optimistic. Let's see where it goes. Because right now it just seems directionless. It's just like you're just fighting for the sake of just fighting and putting them on TV. There's nothing really triggering the fight.
It's kind of like the beginning of DIY when they came on TV. Directionless. It was like, okay, they're kind of getting over. Again, it's like, it's hard to tell whether or not this is like a get out there and see if you can get over kind of push. Like, it doesn't seem like there's really like plan, like Karrion Kross, right? I'm a big Karrion Kross fan, unapologetic Karrion Kross fan. Again, drywall you can argue with. But I think I love the idea of him potentially feuding with Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre or whoever it was that was going to be world champion.
Yeah.
The problem with Karrion Kross, and it's not even his fault, the problem with him was that he got kind of sidebarred because the Bloodline storyline took forever to wrap up, right? You have Cody Rhodes that's involved, and he was injured at the time, and now you got to come back to it. And you know what I mean? Like, there's all these different things that are happening. So they didn't really get a chance to go back and sink their teeth in it to pay off. So now they're starting this thing with the New Day, which again is fine, but I would just rather see them build Karrion Kross to a world title match, right? Which I think eventually is going to happen. I don't see that with Blair Davenport. I don't see that with anybody.
I don't know what they're like. There was this report. I think it was from. Is his name Corey? The one from Fightful?
Yeah, I think it's Corey Michaels. Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah. Where they just reported that some of these call-ups happened they really didn't have a plan for. Yeah. Like, to me, because especially with Triple H, he always talks about how he plans for the long term, right? He has long-term goals, short-term goals, and then those weekly, daily things. And the fact that he says he plans that way, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, but then you called up people without a plan, or at least a short-term plan, because I'm like, was your plan to have them team up with somebody? They just kind of like Kiana James and Blair Davenport, I feel, are very directionless. Yeah. Braun Breaker was good. Obviously has great direction. Carmelo has great direction. D-Jack, they had nothing for and then released or didn't re-sign him. So it's like hit or miss on the call-ups. Yeah. Obviously Tiffany's doing great. Lyra is doing amazing. So it's just I don't know.
And maybe it's just maybe it's just timing, right? Again, like, because it feels like there's elements of every part of the division in the company right now or on both shows that are really firing on all cylinders, right?
Correct.
Everything's good. Everybody's moving and everybody's playing a part.
Yep.
And then there's other parts of it that feel kind of flat. And again, like, to be fair, like that's kind of how DIY felt when they first came up, right? It was like,
I
oh,
would agree.
this feels kind of flat and kind of forced and like, I don't know if this is going to get over. Even tonight, like going back to Baron Corbin, like it felt
DIY, it was because of the song.
well, yeah, for sure. But like
We
also
are. We are.
we are overdue to change the theme song. But I think eventually it worked its way into the crowd and it worked its way into like kind of getting them over and doing the whole thing. And it's just, I don't know, maybe they just need a little bit more time. I could see them both going back. Oh, there we go. Corey Brennan. Thank you, Adrian.
I knew it was Corey. I couldn't remember the last name. He is the NXT insider for Fightful. He does great reporting.
Yeah.
I always rely on him for NXT reports.
Great
he had
stuff.
reported before the whole D-Jack thing happened that they had kind of called up people without some immediate plans for them. And that's kind of what it's feeling like for Blair Davenport and Kiana James on both brands. Just kind of making appearances here and there. Yeah. Blair is in a feud with Naomi. I don't know exactly why. Like, there's no
thread.
Bad blood.
Did you say bad blood?
there's no
That's it, folks. Sponsored by Snickers. Stephanie isn't herself at night when she doesn't have a Snickers. So go ahead and get yourself 2-for-1 deal this summer at SummerSlam, Cleveland, Ohio. Sorry, I got lost there in ad reads, but no, it's 11 o'clock. I'm sorry.
It's D-Jack, not D-Jack. Okay, that's the same thing, George.
Okay, so let me just make sure I read this right. It's D-Jack, not D-Jack. Did I say this right?
Di-Jack, correct?
Di-Jack. Dylon top 5. Am I saying it right? Am I in the right? I can help you with this.
This says D-Jack right now. It says it's D-Jack, not D-Jack. Like you're saying the exact same thing, George.
It's literally the same thing.
It's literally. Thank you, Jeffrey. Look at Jeffrey over here.
Di-Jack. There it is.
Di-Jack.
Now, why do we want Jack to die?
Jeffrey.
What did Jack do? What exactly did Jack do to make him die? It's terrible. Kind of like Blair Davenport's creative right now. It's terrible.
Speaking of DIY, great transition here.
Yeah.
Speaking of DIY, they had a championship title rematch actually between A-Town Down Under and DIY, the current WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm not sure. I mean, they just want the rematch. I guess they want to get the title back.
Yeah.
The match was great. I mean, nothing surprising. Obviously, these men are amazing. The one interesting part, I'm sorry, DIY retained, in case anyone was wondering. I don't think anyone was concerned in any way. There do seem to be some cracks between Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Grayson Waller can be. Me neither, George. I'm about to say it. Grayson Waller can't be trusted.
Grayson Waller is the AT&T of people. He is a human equivalent of a pizza burn on the roof of your mouth. That's who he is. He's human froyo.
We literally had a wild wolf come out of nowhere. And Grayson Waller just puts Austin Theory right in his path to get rammed over. It was amazing. But since we're transitioning, DIY retained. Good job. Yay, we're moving on. Jacob Fatu.
Oof.
Okay, so I'll be honest. I am not keen or aware of his indie run. I've heard of him. I've seen him. People have said over and over again he's going to outshine Solo.
Yep.
This man. So I've seen clips of him now. I've seen all these things from his indie days. I did not watch him live in the indies. I now have to go back and watch him, which I have been doing. Yeah. But watching him on WWE TV, and obviously you're always concerned with how much of that can they keep from the indies, right? When you go to WWE, how wild they're going to let him be. This man is insane. Like, I have never seen, that was such an entrance. It was like, he came out of nowhere. He did all the stuff. He kicked everybody's ass. DIY on the ground. Austin Theory, Grayson Waller on the ground. Like, and that was all just to clear the ring for Solo. Like, that was their entrance.
Yep.
That was it with him. And he just does. He is amazing.
He's unbelievable.
He's crazy.
if
And I
you've never,
love it.
it's like I remember watching. So I was actually live. I was actually there the night that Alex Hammerstone beat Jacob Fatu for the MLW heavyweight title in Philadelphia at the ECW Arena. Jacob Fatu was probably 40 pounds heavier than he is now. He's lost a tremendous amount of weight since coming on to WWE. Slimmed down, toned up.
Well, I remember the video of him not attacking that fan, but the
Yeah.
fan was like put his hands on him, and I remember, and he did look bigger in
He
that
was a
picture, like
huskier guy. Yeah.
yeah.
He did the same move set that he does now. That move where he jumps up on the ropes,
Yeah,
and then
flips.
jumps to the on his ass to the top rope, and then flips over on top. He
Yes.
did that to, I think he did that to Johnny Wrestling.
He did.
And holy Santa Claus shit! Like watching that live. Like this man is unbelievable. I watched him do a coast. He did his own coast to coast with a steel chair right in Hammerstone's face. I was like, "Fuck, he's dead." Like it was like this man is a menace to society. He is unreal to watch. If you are sitting there, Stephanie, I don't mean to take over here, but like if you're sitting there now watching, this Bloodline 2.0 or this cosplay Bloodline, whatever the hell this is going on, and you think to yourself, yeah, Solo Sikoa is the tribal chief. You need to get your head examined. Jacob Fatu is the tribal chief. Jacob Fatu is the head of that table.
All I'm interested in with this group is watching what Jacob's going to do next. Because this man is, when I say crazy, I mean it in a good way. Like, I just love watching him, his mannerisms, his facial expressions, the way he moves in the ring, the way he no-sells certain moves. And it's not because he's no-selling because he's an ass. He's no-selling because he's trying to show you how tough he is. Well, I saw some people go, well, why didn't he no-sell the RKO or whatever it was? And I'm like, because he's trying to show Randy Orton, I'm not your normal one that you fuck with. Like, he's trying to tell y'all, I am not normal.
He's the Samoan werewolf. Actually, he's got that Steiner math. He's not normal, and Kurt Angle knows. Sorry, no, sorry. That's called Scott Steiner there. No, you're right. Like Jacob Fatu is Jeffrey saying it here. Jacob is clearly the star. Oh, I want to talk about that top row moonsault all day long, Jeffrey. I want to talk about it all day, and all night, and into tomorrow. But it's like, so.
I just want to watch him. Like everyone else, you just stay in the back.
It's the faces and the scowls and the
move. The scowls, the way when he's on the ground, the way he moves like a wolf, like
a menace.
He's just impeccable. I just love watching him. And that sounds so weird, but like I'm like enthralled. I'm just like, and the way he came out of absolutely nowhere and just destroyed everyone in the match he had nothing to do with. I'm like, oh, okay.
He's captivating. He's captivating in a way that Solo can't be and hasn't been this entire time.
Can I just...
We're going to talk about it?
We're going to talk about it. We're
going to talk about it.
Solo then comes out with Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they make this entrance and they don't have like the dark lights down, like whatever. Solo's talking too much. The one thing I loved about Solo when he was with Roman was the fact that he didn't talk and he was kind of mysterious, right? Like we just knew he was like tough, didn't want to deal with shit. Cool. I actually don't like that he's talking so much. Like I feel like he needs a mouthpiece. It just needs to be like the tough, you know, tribal chief. And you don't gotta say much. Like let someone else do the talking. It doesn't have to be Paul Heyman. Maybe it's someone else. But he's talking too much for me. So he's losing his aura that he had. He doesn't come off as tough to me. Like I'm like, I just want to go give him a hug. Let's go teddy bear.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
look at you cutie pie.
Look at that glove.
Cutie. Little man. Make sure he's not behind me. Doesn't fucking Samoan spike me out of nowhere here.
He's like, what?
Fucking Jacob Fatu. Like, holy shit. Jesus Christ, where did you come from?
Yeah, no, but so he's not doing horribly. You have to understand the spot that he's been put in. Remember, he came straight from NXT, was in NXT for like, I don't know, 2 months, joined the Bloodline, was following Roman this whole time, and now they basically put him in the main event spot as a heel. And it's like, it's huge shoes to fill. So I always try and sit here and go, you know, He's not going to be Roman, obviously. Roman's had years to perfect his craft. Solo's not there yet, but they're trusting him with this. And so I want to support him. I just don't think it's working the way it is right now, right? Like I said, I'm more enthralled to watch Jacob Fatu making faces behind his back than watching Solo. And so...
And I think maybe that's kind of the point, though. I think maybe that's kind of the point is that, like, Solo is trying. He's trying too hard, and he's cosplaying to be the tribal chief, and everybody can see through it. You know what I mean? And, like, maybe that's the point of the story. Maybe that's like, maybe hey, oh, geez, he's like Butters. Like, oh, geez, fellas, acknowledge me. And it's like, okay, man, whatever.
And it is kind of like, to your point, it's like someone dressing up for Halloween and going, hey, I'm Seth Rollins. Like, anyone can dress up and say something.
Yeah.
What made Roman the tribal chief was not because he said it. It was because of his actions, how he carried himself.
Yes.
The way he moved people around him, controlled the environment. Like, it made him bigger than thou, if you will. Correct. Solo, it just feels like he put on a glove, a suit, and was like, I'm your tribal chief now. What? And then he grabbed his little cousins and were like, hey.
Yeah.
Come back me up.
The neighborhood kids, right? Yeah, like, hey, fellas, come and hang out. Let's do this. You know, like, okay,
back me up.
Weird.
Cool.
Why is he saying that? Yeah.
So yeah, to your point, maybe that is the point. Maybe that's the point. If for us to make it seem like we can see through the bullshit, bro, you're not him, right? Which is why he does get a lot of "We Want Roman" chants while he's in the ring. United States of America, acknowledge me. Okay.
All right.
You never ever want to be the guy that follows the guy.
That guy. Yeah.
True that. So anyway, so Solo comes out. Solo comes out. Cody Rhodes comes out. He basically says, I've heard everything you have to say. We want the same thing. A match at SummerSlam. And well, all hell breaks loose from there. He basically, it's Cody. He's surrounded by all 4 Bloodline 2.0 members. I like to call him Bloodline 2.0.
Same.
He's surrounded by them. Surprise, surprise, they all attack. And guess who comes out? Guess who has his back?
I have voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me.
Sorry.
They talk to me. Okay.
Randy Orton. He's gonna go fucking nuts at SummerSlam when he comes out. People are gonna have to go. They're gonna dumb out. Unfortunately, they're all going to be clapping on the 1s and 3s, but they will listen. Those Canadian fans, you guys got to get on beat, fellas, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we go back to Puerto Rico? Oh,
seriously,
no, thanks. Like I was like, oh my god, I love you guys. Like
it was
them and was it France?
France, yeah.
They had dos. So what were they saying? I forgot what it was. I have to go look because it was like one of my favorite chants they were doing. It was after they do the count or whatever.
Yeah.
It's whenever something
like 1, 2,
supplemented do or something like that. Whatever it was. It was a great chant.
It's just that Canada and Kentucky are devoid of rhythm. So it's just it's really unfortunate to watch that. It's terrible. Like watching these people that are just like they're all doing that weird like arm throwing thing, you know, like it's
no
so
offense to any Canadians watching.
We know the flapping head thing.
We love you guys.
We love you, all of our friends to the north. But
I love syrup.
Big Tim Hortons fan.
Bailey said, wait until the crowd in Berlin. You know, I was born in Germany. Given I was born as a military kid, so I don't know if it counts, but I have rhythm.
Yeah. I do too. I'm a Slovak. I was born in Philadelphia. I have rhythm. It's just you got to find the beat, guys.
Let's go. Solo, you people don't deserve Roman. You got me now. And he said, Roman, if you decide to return, you have to acknowledge me as your tribal chief. Now, look, Solo, I know you got hit in the head a couple times, but that ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening. So now I have to ask the question. They beat up Cody and Randy Orton. They put Randy through a table, and you see Randy through a table. Cody's tied up in the ropes like this, like a scarecrow, and then you see them all throw up the 1s.
You know who else was tied up in the ropes?
Who?
You know, who else had his arms tied out this way? There's Pastor Cody giving the lesson.
Jesus.
Giving the sermon.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
giving the sermon. I told you. Everything ties back to Pastor
Jesus.
Cody. Youth pastor. Don't forget.
Oh
Sundays
God,
at 11 in
guys.
Atlanta.
Sundays at 11 at the Nightmare Factory. Holy
Punch and
crap.
pie served after. Yes. No, I mean, it's like they lay him out. They destroy them. And
he's Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm still on this. I'm still on this.
Pastor. He is.
He is a youth pastor, and he put himself on the ropes like a cross, like Jesus did.
He
Oh
gave himself for the rest of us to absolve the sins of Randy Orton. So I think we should be we are a grateful nation right now. I tip my hat to you, Pastor Cody.
Thank you, Cody.
Jeffrey had the same visual. Yes, thank you. He's out there being crucified on the ropes.
Jeffrey, you were there. You saw how you saw this one. Message to Cody: never trust Randall Keith Orton. Fact.
Dare I say, Jeffrey saw the light.
Cooper.
Jeffrey
Cody was like, "Take me."
It's so good. It's true.
Take me, Lord.
To Lord, I sacrifice myself for you.
If it's my time,
take me.
Take me.
Take me. Not Randy. Take me. Not Randy. I can't.
So, I'm assuming we're getting this match at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems pretty interesting now.
I don't know exactly where all Randy ties into it. If he's just going to be there to help, and then at the end of SummerSlam, once Cody wins, does he RKO him? Does Roman Reigns show up? Do we know?
We can surmise. We believe that our tribal chief will arrive. Yeah, I think it's Cody and Solo at SummerSlam. I don't think Randy turns just yet.
Really?
I think they're gonna milk that story for a while. I don't think they're taking the belt off of Cody for a while either. Even if Roman comes back.
No. Yeah.
Even if Roman comes back and challenges him for the title, I don't think they're coming back.
Cody's carrying that thing through WrestleMania for sure.
Yeah, he's at least until WrestleMania next year.
Yeah.
Because he's got to fight Rock the Dwayne Johnson at some point, which I think that'll be the title match. But Solo fights him. Solo loses due to some kind of interference. And that's what sets
Does Jimmy return? Does Jay return?
I think Jimmy returns. I don't think we see Jay. I don't think Jay really needs to be like an official part. I think he's just more, it's like I
think Jimmy might return.
You got to remember.
I don't know when Roman comes out, but I feel like Jay will end up being. So I think it will build to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And Jay is going to be the very, very last. I think they're going to really, because it's going to take a lot to recruit Jay. Think about that.
Yes.
It'll take a lot to get him on board with Jimmy and Roman. So I think they're going to be working on him. Number one, he's also another brand, right? So they're really going to be making phone calls, maybe show him like taking the phone call and hanging up real quick. Like, I don't want anything to do with y'all, like whatever it may be. But I think he's going to hold out. And I think the day of the pay-per-view, his music's going to hit and that place is going to go insane when we think it's going to be 4 versus 3 or whatever it might be. Right. So,
no, I think, again, like, especially in light of everything that's happened, I think it's going to take a lot for Jay to really come on board and really commit to it. But when he does, it's going to be great. Honestly, I still want Jay to win the Intercontinental title. And I think he has to do that first after Gunther wins. But, or after, what's his name? Not Gunther.
LA Knight?
No. Who the hell's challenging for the Intercontinental title? Braun Breaker.
Oh, yes, Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I think after Braun Breaker wins, I think then that's when they put the title on Jay. But it remains to be seen. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, SummerSlam seems to be shaping up. We are about 3 weeks out?
Yeah, 3 weeks tomorrow.
And I think it's going to be an enjoyable one so far. We already have a good number of title matches already set up. I'm very interested to see how this Bloodline one goes. If I see one black hoodie, like just show up. I'm so done with the black hoodie. Like, we get it.
Yeah, we know it's a Bloodline member. We got it. Just fucking just get it over with.
We know it's not going to be taken off and it's going to be Kelly. Like, we know it's going to be someone from the Bloodline. Enough.
Right. It's not Santino Marella. It's another Samoan. It's another fucking Samoan. Yeah.
Just send them out. Yeah. It'll take us a while to figure out who it is anyway. We'll be like, okay, which Fatu is this? All right, give me a second.
Okay, so we know for sure Rikishi's got 32 kids. Which one of these children is It's the new member of the bloodline.
This is number 10.
All right, who's got we're all through the press box. Yeah, who's got Rikishi on number 10? Who's got Rikishi 10?
That man
It's
was
Adrian.
working,
Adrian's
man.
got it. He's the winner. He's the winner of the pie this week.
That man was working. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Know Your Role. Chat Champion of the Week. Who's it going to be? I think the Chat Champion of the Week today is going to be Jeffrey Reimer. Jeffrey, you made me laugh the whole time. You also saw Jesus. So did we. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Adam, where can they find you throughout the week, man?
Thank you. I appreciate Stephanie. Thank you so much for thinking of me and having me on the show today. I really appreciate being a part of this. You can follow me on all forms of social media, on Twitter, because I'm never calling it X, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. You can find me at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, it's not changing. It's a brand, pal. You can follow me there. You can listen to both of my shows. You can listen to every Monday to the Mind of the Meanie with my wonderful host, former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We air every Monday, and every Tuesday is my other show, Foundation Radio. You can follow both of our YouTube pages as well. I'm not just wrestling on Foundation Radio either. I have interviews with Ghostbusters, Ernie Hudson, CBS News, Robert Costa, and lots of great stuff over there as well. So it's a little bit of something for everybody. So go ahead and check it out. You can also check me at bodyslam.net. I'm writing a bunch of articles right now, and go check out my next one that's going to be coming up hopefully very soon. You can follow me there. So I appreciate it.
The next one coming up being Baron Corbin should be champion and why he should be and all the reasons why.
Correct. Yeah. Why Baron Corbin should be the next world heavyweight champion. So shout out to the homie Baron Corbin, Westchester represent. But yeah, you can find me there. And I will see you, I believe, ma'am, in Cleveland in a couple of weeks. Correct?
Me?
Aren't you going? Yeah, I'll see you there. I knew you were. I knew you had me in the first half. I'm not going to lie. You had me in the first half. I will see you. Looking forward to seeing you, man.
I've never been in Cleveland. I heard there's nothing to do. So we should have a good time.
There's not. It's like, hey, concrete. Hey, a house. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I want to try and go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I'm assuming with most tours, you have to book in advance. So I have to go look.
Yeah, I think, I know that I'm actually road tripping out there with Sir Wilkins from the Jobber Tears podcast, Alex Queen of the Ring, and Muscle Man Malcolm. We rented a car and we're leaving from Philadelphia and we're driving out to Cleveland. So it's going to be the best road trip of all time.
I also need this documented.
It's already in the works. Yeah, I have a GoPro. I'm going to stick to the fucking windshield. But no, so we were talking about going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I think you can get tickets up until like maybe 2 days before you go in. So
you can. Okay.
Yeah, if we go, we'll let you know.
Please let me know because I do want to go. It's the one thing to do in Cleveland.
Yeah. So, actually, funny story. It's the only thing to do in Cleveland.
Only thing to do in Cleveland besides possibly drink and have food.
That's right.
You can follow me at Stephanie Hypes on Twitter, Stephanie Hypes on Instagram and TikTok. You can find me on Body Slam Net's channel for Know Your Role after SmackDown every Friday. And you can find me on Serving Face and Hills on the True Hill Heat channel once a month on Sundays, talking about all women's wrestling, my favorite thing. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Appreciate the chat. Adam, thank you so much for filling in for Miss Chrissy tonight. You are amazing. Go follow him, please, guys. He is incredible. And I will see you guys next week for a new Know Your Role. Bye, y'all.